Good morning and happy Monday. Welcome to my channel. I'm Ben, a big thinker and deep feeler who is on a journey to create a life that I love and one that makes me feel connected to myself and to others, to the earth and the world and the bigger picture as a whole. I am really just here trying to figure this thing out. And I am here to share the journey with you, share all the things that I'm learning, whether that's from professional experience that I've had in the past, whether that is through my personal experiences in the past or now. I'm essentially here to just share openly and authentically and with the intent that we both gain something out of this. I truly believe that life is challenging, but it's also beautiful. But it's so much better either way if we are on the path together. So, welcome, friend. If you haven't already, I would invite you to subscribe, to just join along. And I would love to hear from you along the way, because I'm not just here in this for me to blab. I want to be connected with you. So feel free to reach out. You can do that by commenting or by following me on Instagram at benjamin.m.fritz. Would love to hear from you there. But yeah, so with that, it's a new week. It is the week of February 21st. And yeah, it's just kind of hard to believe that we're like a full 6 weeks into 2022 and my first week at the job is done. That was last week's vlog. If you didn't check that out, I suggest, going to do that to just kind of see what that was like for me. My first week being employed after being self-employed for 8 years, out of a desk job for 9 years. Yeah, just like so different. And all things considered, I really think that last week went pretty well. I had a couple challenges that I talked about in that video, and that's actually kind of where I'm starting this week. So before I get to those specific challenges with the job, just in general, the high level challenge is just schedule stuff. Like, I'm just still not used to this, and so I didn't do a bunch yesterday in terms of planning or getting ready. And then I actually personal trained my mom via Zoom on Monday mornings. So I did that this morning. Didn't show any of that, but I did that, and because of that, I'm really not going to have any planning or week prepping time on Monday morning unless I can do it kind of like in the first half hour of my work day, which at this point I don't really want to be doing. I really want to be able to focus on my work stuff and not feeling like guilty, like I'm not online at the right time or whatever. So as I continue to feel that out and see what kind of freedom or flow that my days have, I do need to be more intentional about that on a Sunday, trying to figure out when I can get planning in for the week. Now, last week I didn't really do too much outside of like onboarding in terms of like personal things or creative projects. Like, I put out the weekly vlog, but that was literally it. I just didn't want to hold myself to anything. I wanted to give myself a bunch of space, allow myself to focus on the job, focus on my energy, just kind of notice anything that was coming up, and to not push past that, to not force anything last week, because it just wasn't necessary, right? Like, this is what's important right now. Transition periods usually are a time of subtracting the things that aren't priorities. And so that's very much where I was at last week. That'll kind of continue this week, but I just am voicing and acknowledging all of this because it's something that I do want to be intentional about going forward, because yeah, it's just going to make an impact, and I don't want to feel overwhelmed or like I don't have direction. Clarity is everything. That's what I worked on with clients. That's what I work on with myself, especially if you're easily overwhelmed, if you're multi-passionate, if you have a lot of things going on, if your schedule isn't very straightforward, then clarity is everything. It relieves a lot of those tensions that come with all those things that I just mentioned. And so I'm feeling a little bit of that to start the week, that I have a little bit of tension there because I don't have that crystal clarity, because I didn't create the space to plan for the week. All right, so that's high level. And then finally, before I let you go here and get into my workday, the specific challenges that I had last week and I'm already feeling coming into this week are pretty simply that of I don't want to look or feel stupid. And so I know that this stuff is new for me, as of 9 years ago, because I did some of this work then, but a lot of this stuff is actually brand new to me. So I know that I'm a beginner, and I always think that it's important to give ourselves a lot of grace in that beginner period. But the thing that I'm struggling with is that I know that for myself, but the fact that other people can see me and are looking in at what I'm doing, something that I haven't had in years, brings that back up and is bringing that to the surface in a way that is, just feels uncomfortable. So just kind of noting that, already feeling a little bit of that tension because I do have a meeting with the team in the middle of the day today. And so it's kind of like a, hey, what are you working on? How's it going thing? And so that's just kind of like bringing that up. So just kind of going into the day with that. Otherwise, don't have a ton of meetings so far, at least this week. I do want to set up some one-on-ones with the team members, just like I was in meetings with them as a group, but I do want to just kind of get that one-on-one FaceTime, especially as a remote employee. I know that's something that's kind of difficult for remote teams. So that'll kind of be my plans for the week, and I'll update you otherwise as I go along. But I'm gonna go on and jump into my Monday, and I will talk to you soon. Just finishing up editing last week's video. Normally, this is gonna be something that goes out on Sundays. I'm just kind of getting used to my schedule, as I talked about earlier, in all facets. And so, posting schedule in the future should be on Sundays, hopefully even Sunday morning if I do things the right way. So yes, Monday's not ideal for this, partially because I don't want to be trying to finish it on a work day. But yes, so that will be up later today. I was actually just outside with the dogs. It's like freaking gorgeous outside. It's like upper 60s and sunny. So it was really nice to get outside and just kind of sit out there. Didn't even think to bring my camera out there. Would have been a little bit more interesting than the same exact scenery that you've already experienced today. But with that, my lunch is over. Got to get back to doing some work. My stand-up meeting with the team a little over an hour ago went well. I was kind of nervous for that, like I was mentioning earlier. So I'm hoping that those jitters kind of go away after the first handful, first couple weeks. But that went fine, and the team is actually very busy this afternoon, which is kind of a good thing because that allows me to just do my own thing and not have to worry about being interrupted for anything, basically. So with that, I'm gonna jump on to it. Hey there, friend. Happy Tuesday. Here we are, day 2 of the week. I'm feeling a little tired today. Just kind of noticed that before I logged on here. I was like, yeah, I'm feeling kind of, I feel like my eyes are a little puffy today. Yeah, I don't know. I guess that's kind of normal for a Monday, right? You 9-to-5ers tell me, is this like a normal thing to be a little tired on a Tuesday morning? Because it's kind of a lot after a weekend. That would be my hypothesis, at least. But yeah, I mean, normal tired. I think just kind of, I don't know. I might do like a little bit of movement or something here. I am logged in. It's 9:30. But I already made a little bit of progress on something that I was working on with my boss at the end of yesterday. So that feels good to kind of start the day on a positive note. So yeah, I don't know. I might do like a little bit of movement or even just like silly, like turn some music on and jump around for a few minutes or something. I know that sounds ridiculous, but music is incredibly helpful for energy. And I know this is like something we know conceptually, but I feel like we don't use it as a tool enough. It can be used as a tool. I talk about energy management all the time. It is hugely impactful, if not like everything, for big thinkers and deep feelers, because our energy and energy from a holistic standpoint, mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, that's our life force. And so being able to understand that, but also to manage it and make it work for us is like one of the best things we can do for ourselves. So yes, this is one of those things that I think is really just crucial, and to be able to do so in like small ways, small but impactful ways, and instead of like, yeah, I need a vacation, I need a whole week off, stuff like that. Like, yes, we're always going to want that, but we can make impactful changes by doing very small things. I actually created, I'll just see if I can find this. I created a guide, I don't know, a couple of years ago. And I really haven't used it since. I haven't like promoted it or shared it or anything, but now that I'm getting back into this space, I think it's actually going to be beneficial for me, because I was really proud of myself when I came up with that. I really, really love, it's less than 10 minutes, but it's a way to like quickly shift your energy, especially if you're somebody that wants to be, not just feel good, but also be creating things. So yeah, so check for that below. The other thing I was noticing, you'll probably see that I'm like going from here to here. I've got my, can you see? I've got the old tripod thing out, because when I was editing videos for last week's vlog, I noticed that I am like right in your face and, hey, hello, how are you, friend? Like to the point where I was editing and I was like, oh my God, dude, like step back. So if you notice that as well, apologies. It's just very natural for me to like hold my phone with my hand, like with my face essentially filling the screen. So I'm trying to get better at that. I acknowledge that. If not for you, just for my sanity in watching these videos back, and just started to drive me crazy. So you'll probably see that I'm like going in and out here as I try to find a comfortable distance. But yeah, otherwise today is pretty open for me. I know Jessie's got a couple things going on, some meetings, so things that I just have to be aware of in terms of paying attention to the dogs and Finn specifically. But I have no meetings until 5 p.m. I have like a half-hour meeting that I've kind of just been involved with this one topic so far since I've been here as a fly on the wall, not a contributor. So yeah, kind of ironic that I had that as my day is like literally ending. But yeah, otherwise, I feel like I've said this in the past couple days, business days, but my goal is really just to try to get some of this stuff done now that I've actually got like a little bit of work and things to do, and then also like really closing out the initial admin stuff. Like I've had to watch a bunch of training videos and stuff like that. So yeah, just excited to get to it, and here we go. We are experiencing an internet outage, which is just so funny when you work from home and just in general in the age that we live in. You know, both of us, Jessie and I, are immediately like, now what? Like, what do we do? Everything is connected to the internet, which is just like a scary, crazy thought. For one, that we've like created such a dependency on this in our lives, and then the fact that like when there is no internet, we're like literally like staring at each other like, what the fuck? Yeah, just weird. But yeah, I did log back on here using my phone as a hotspot. I have unlimited data, so it looks like that is working currently. Supposedly the outage is only going to go until later today. It'll be fixed at some point. So just kind of an interesting little twist to the day, but not too much of a difference for me so far. God damn, this thing is big and is beautiful. I know this lighting really sucks in here right now too, but man, I love any new tech toy, but does it get much better than a big ass monitor? No. The answer is no. Oh my God. I feel like I've just been like, ever since I ordered this, so this is from the company, ever since I saw that this was coming, I was just like, I kept checking like the FedEx, like the shipping, the tracking. And I just felt like a kid getting a Christmas present. And it feels very much like that. Oh my God, I'm so excited. Yeah, this is actually like super helpful with the work that I do too. To have this much real estate is amazing. So I believe this is 27 inches and my previous monitor, I think, was 22. So maybe 24, but either way, pretty big upgrade. And yeah, it makes a difference. This is also much newer, and so just like in general, the resolution and stuff is better. Yeah, just a nicer monitor all around. So I am very, very happy, if you can't tell. And again, you know, it's kind of, as I talked about when I was setting up my office space in general, all these things just help to make working a little bit sweeter, you know, like when all these things feel good, when you can get excited about being in your space and doing your thing, that makes everything worth it, you know, like it just, everything is that much easier then. So yeah, just like super grateful. The company clearly does not skimp on providing nice equipment for their employees and their remote employees. So it's like super grateful, and yeah, I'm really excited. So that, yeah, that's kind of the update there. I did have one other thing as well I wanted to mention about a struggle I had today. You know, it's so interesting because this process has been very, like overall, and I continue to say this, so you've probably heard it if you've been watching these, but just like overall, exactly what it needs to be. But that doesn't mean that things aren't challenging within that. So the challenge, you know, I kind of mentioned some of these, like feeling stupid or whatever, but there's a new or like piece of that really reared its ugly head today. So I had a meeting with my boss and we were going over some stuff. I was sharing my screen with one of the things that I'm working on, and he started asking me questions and started asking me to do things, to start writing out some code basically, and like asking me, oh, like, what are you gonna do there? What are you gonna do there? And I'm just like totally blank. And because I felt like totally deer in the headlights, that made me feel even more frustrated and more panicked in that moment. So yeah, it just sucked. It made me really frustrated, but also, yeah, just like create a lot of like anxiety in my body. And the reason this happens, so I talked this out with Jessie at dinner time. It was just like, I just don't do well when I'm asked to like think on the spot. It's not because I'm dumb. It's not because I don't get it. It's not because I can't figure it out. But like on the spot, and Jessie's like, we're very similar in this regard. So I knew she would understand where I was coming from. And so you're talking this out, and it was just like, you just go into like flight mode or even freeze mode. So if you're familiar with fight, flight, freeze, that's like totally what it is. Just like my nervous system all of a sudden is like like I can't cognitively, I cannot think. My brain does not work because I'm just like stuck paying attention to the fact that I'm being paid attention to. So it's like, it's so fucked up. But yeah, I just essentially was like totally frozen, and it's just like, yeah, just like so frustrating. So annoying. So anyways, just kind of acknowledging that, sharing that, and then yeah, just going to be paying attention to that for myself, just trying to work on staying more relaxed in those situations, work on giving myself time. And I think I'm gonna have to close my eyes. I think I'm going to have to do this because like I know for me that helps. Or even like looking away, like even if I like look up at the ceiling or something like that, just so that I'm not, I can't like feel like I can kind of create this sense of separation from being observed. I think I'm really gonna have to try to do something like that because yeah, I mean, and I know it'll be a growth curve, but something that I don't want to be a crutch for me. I don't want that to be something, not even a crutch. I don't want that to be something that hinders me and my progress and makes me feel like I'm not good at what I do, or like I can't have certain conversations or calls or whatever. I don't ever think that I'm going to be the person that is like able to just, do crazy calculations and think critically right there on the spot all the time super easily. I just don't think that's me, but I do want to be able to do it as necessary for my job, for the things that I need to take care of. So anyways, that just hit way, like I knew that stuff made me uncomfortable, but the level of which it, just like paralyzed my system and my cognitive processes was just like brutal. So yeah, not fun, definitely frustrating. That obviously feeds into any stories that I kind of mentioned was, then the other challenge for me, which is like, being an imposter, or you're not smart enough, or you'll never get this or be as good at it as other people, like, just all those kind of like standard stories that live in us somewhere. Some of us, that is, and for me, those are there, especially when it comes to the technical world. So yeah, so just paying attention to that, but wanted to share as a struggle point. Like I said, Jessie and I have this in common. I'd be curious to know if you can relate to any and all of this, so hit me up below if that's the case. Be curious to know what your experience of it is, what has worked for you, maybe even things that you've noticed that haven't helped or that have made it worse. Yeah, just kind of wanted to throw that out there. And, yeah, sometimes things are a struggle, even if they are good for the most part. There can still be those things that present us with challenges. So that's it for me. I am going to wrap today up with that, I believe. But yeah, thanks for hanging out. It's for my Wednesday. Yeah, I'm like kind of losing track of what day it is. The week seems to be flying by at this point. I was thinking it was Tuesday. So I'll see you tomorrow for Thursday. Bye. Good morning. Happy Thursday. Kind of crazy that we're already on the back half of the week here. I mentioned that yesterday. Yeah, just kind of crazy. But I'm looking forward to today because I have a pretty wide open day in terms of my work schedule. Jessie is out grocery shopping currently. The pups are being surprisingly chill. And yeah, I've got a meeting, actually had like a pop-up quick meeting for 20 minutes just a bit ago, but I only have one scheduled meeting, scheduled for half an hour this afternoon, and that's it. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to, and this is going to become a constant refrain on here, I can tell. I'm just like really looking forward to being able to get some work done. It's actually kind of like a side note, but Jessie and I were having a conversation about this last night. The difference between like an engineering team and a marketing team, where like marketing team, you have a lot of meetings and that's where like you spend a lot of your time. Engineering or development is kind of the opposite, in that meetings are pretty far and few between because your work is mostly done outside of that. You are developing, you're doing that, and you can't do that if you're in meetings all the time. And so we were just talking about meetings and kind of how ridiculous they can be. But for what I've realized and noticed is like developers don't want to be in meetings all day because they just want to do their work. So this is me kind of acknowledging that for myself as I'm talking here. I'm like, yeah, I just want to like get to the stuff I have to do. So yes, that feels good. I do have like a deliverable that I'm kind of close on, like coming up to the end of the week. It's not an urgent thing, so they didn't give this to me with, they didn't want it to feel pressured for anybody. So it's not a big deal, but it is one of those things. It's like, okay, it's my first deliverable. I do want to like come through on it. So heads down working today. I don't really think there's that much else going on. What do you think, guys? Is there? I don't know. Should really take them for a W today. It's just been kind of gross the past few days. We're still trying to get used to my schedule, obviously, and the dogs are suffering a little bit from that. So feeling a little bad about that. Definitely going to want to get them out and about at some point today. So hopefully we can do that. But our schedules really don't jive because she's just got a bunch of stuff going on today. So we shall see. But yeah, otherwise I think that's it. I'm just enjoying my big old screen here. And yeah, that's about it for now. Talk to you soon, friend. All right, well, I guess we're gonna do an impromptu grocery haul. I wasn't really planning on it, but it's exciting content for today. So I'm just gonna kind of run through this quickly here. Yeah, let's start over here. I'm just doing a full scan. All right, so I've got a bunch of veggies here. There's baby spinach and spring mix, and then a couple bagged salads. This one I had last week, and I told Jessie, I was like, oh my gosh, I love this. Between the pistachios and the pear crumbles and the ginger dressing it was. So
technically not vegan for anybody that is vegan, because there's honey, but Ben doesn't really care.
Yeah. Yeah, other produce stuff. So bananas, bell pepper, carrots, tomatoes, some avo, cucumber, green onions, which we haven't had that in a week or two, and kind of missed them. And then frozen corn just to have on hand.
Oh, there's also a couple.
Oh yeah, then we got some raspberries, blood oranges, because Jessie got those for me last time to try. She thought I would like them, and I do, even though I didn't try them. I was gonna say
there's still like 4 over there.
Even though I didn't try until the other day.
The orange ones are also blood oranges.
Oh, they all are? Okay. Yeah, I had another one this morning. They're really good. Basically just not as like super sweet as oranges. Russet potatoes, because we're going to make mashers, right?
Right, and baked potatoes.
Yeah, and
these are
potatoes.
small, so we'll probably have to do like 2 a person or so. Or I guess you can have sweet potatoes if you want.
So that's okay. And that's in addition to our standard potato.
Because we still have a fuck ton left.
Okay, showed you that. So yeah, we just got a bunch of canned or glass stuff here. Coconut oil, we needed more of that. Maple syrup. Jessie got herself a kombucha. My faves, as usual. Ooh, tried a new pico.
Yeah, for the baked potatoes.
Garbanzo beans, chickpeas. Is this what we're having for lunch? Right?
No.
Or we're having the other one?
Well, I guess it can be that one or that one.
Either. Okay.
Matter.
Lentil pasta. We like this stuff a good amount. some Go Macro bars. We've settled on as our favorite flavor, or at least what we're definitely feeling currently. And then finally to finish off with Sprouts, all of the just kind of like specialty stuff.
That was a new flavor.
Oh, it's pretty.
Caramel. They only had they had the Planet Oat finally again, but they only had the vanilla one, so I got cashew for like anything we need to mix food with. So it's
okay. Okay, it's unsweetened.
Because I like the cashew milk, actually.
Good call. All right, back here we got some sour creams. Veganese, which, by the way, we like this one because it's made with avocado oil, not like a crappier oil or eggs. Well, obviously, but all right, spicy arrabbiata. We've been having this stuff recently, and we've talked about this. It is definitely spicy, but it's very good. Here, I'm gonna come back this way. These are new. Jessie wanted to try some of these.
4 for $5, and I thought, because you can always like beef them up. We have tempeh. We have. Should have bought the buffalo.
You don't want to beef them up.
Okay, but there's also like vegetables and stuff.
Ravioli. We're gonna have this for lunch. Kind of the standard for grocery haul days recently.
It also said it was like less sodium, so. I mean, it's still got sodium in it, but.
Beyond meatballs, we had these with like pasta this week, spaghetti and meatballs, and they were really good. But Jessie wants to try, what are they called?
Like a Swedish meatball type of thing.
Yeah, so we're going to try that this week. But ran out of that. Jessie got these for me to try. I don't, in general, I don't want to be eating a ton of fake meat. So we've probably shown a lot of that recently, but on a regular basis, that's not going to be something that we're doing. It's more because we're trying a bunch of this stuff.
One fake meat to eat.
That's true. I'm just
noting.
But
he used to eat sausages all the time. So I saw those and I was like, well.
Yeah, and somebody had mentioned these recently, on one of your vlogs or whatever, and it's supposed to be a good brand. So.
You don't have a loopy, so I'm having a hard time.
Smoked apple and sage definitely sounds good to me. You know me well. 2 white rices. This was actually really good the last time we tried.
I didn't know this was a risotto.
Jessie just didn't like the flavor.
I liked it.
Oh.
I ate it all.
Okay. You had said you didn't like it that much.
Oh, well, I didn't mean that.
She didn't mean it. So yeah, listen at least. Apparently I just hear the...
this one's a risotto, but this is but it's got a little bit more, I mean, it's still a higher-ish calorie, but at least you're getting a little bit of protein and fiber in it. Versus we normally just eat white rice, so there's just carbs.
Right, straight carb. All right, and then supplemental protein type stuff here. Jessie wanted to try this. She had tried a sample and she liked it. And then again, just more bars to have on hand, especially now that I'm working. It kind of adds to my schedule, but also then it adds to what Jessie has to do and kind of take care of around the house. So just nice for us to have things that are quick grabs.
Yeah, and then Ben wanted a hyacinth. We have this one over here is growing like crazy.
So fast. This is what it looked like a week ago when she got it. Mm-hmm. So I'm excited. As you guys know, as I've been redoing my desk, I do want more green in there, and so this just feels like these are purple, obviously, but just feels perfect to have something small but kind of cute and pretty.
Yeah.
All right, that's it for now.
Look at the way that your shirt is buttoned.
Oh. Dang. No wonder it's poofy here. I did this when I was running around outside with the dogs. thing is like legit, dude. Yes, come in. Come in, Commander. Are you there? Can you hear me? This is like a freaking top of the line situation here. Well, now I'm official. Don't fuck with me.
They both stopped.
Continue. Carry on. Girl. Oh, girl. We got our daffodils coming up around the tree. It's a nice little patch right here in front. I just love perennials. It's just like so cool to me that they just come back year after year. Always nice to see them. Well, it's already 1:30 on Friday. I've got some nice little flyaways from the walk there. Yeah, just went for a post-lunch walk. As I mentioned yesterday, we're just struggling with getting the dogs outside with our schedule, plus with it being kind of like wet and rainy. Also, just want to mention, like, I'm not saying our schedule is the hardest schedule. Purely, like, we both work from home, but it's an adjustment. So it's just shaking up the things that we normally do. So that's just the difficult part for us. But yeah, I'm not really going to sit here and talk to you because I have a lot to do this afternoon. Basically, I have 3 hours until the end of the day, and yeah, actually have work to get done, which feels good. At the end of week 2, I'm doing like I have actual things to do. It's actually a nice thing. Actually. Jessie's very busy too. She's got a bunch of her own work to get done. This is just kind of funny because Friday afternoons for me were like, even when I was working, like, I should say the entirety of working for myself, I basically took Friday afternoons off. Not that I didn't ever do any work, because that's definitely not the case. But it was like a very relaxed time. I would use those days to do stuff like play video games or to go disc golfing, just things that made it feel special, right? Like getting to celebrate the fact that I do have that time freedom. So yeah, just different now because that's not the case. Like, we work until 5 on a Friday, but in its own way, it feels good. It feels like I have something meaningful to sink my teeth into. I'm earning my rest time, earning my downtime, and yeah, I'm looking forward to that. But for right now, I'm gonna go ahead and jump on into this. Oh, and before I do, just quickly want to mention that I am really working on being excited about this. I really do like the work itself. I've mentioned to you how my struggles have kind of come back, and just in terms of like feeling pressured to do certain things, or like feeling dumb, not knowing that I'm like smart enough to do this. But like with all that fear, like I like to say that fear and excitement are two sides of the same coin. So on the other side of fear is that excitement and that thing that feels at least more expansive and possibility. Could you still fail? Sure. Could the fears still come true? Sure. But at least you aren't focused on them. So that's what I'm trying to do, trying to like flip that around and really just be excited about the work. Have fun doing what I'm doing and worry about the stuff later. So that's the attitude I'm taking into this afternoon. I'll see you on the other side. All right, well, we got the sushi station set up here. We weren't fully prepped, so we got more rice cooking. But we pretty successfully made these little vegetable rolls. The last time we had tried this, it was a complete and utter disaster. So We
were so mad.
Except, yeah.
I was saying, I think another problem is, don't mind my chopsticks, we were very hangry.
Yes.
I am currently hangry. Ben is less than me, but last time we did it, we were both really hungry.
Yeah. I had an apple so that I made sure, because it's 6 o'clock, which is on the later end for when we eat, especially for me.
Right. Well,
but we both just had so much work this afternoon, which I'm officially going to be working on the weekend for my first time. Hooray! Yeah, I have so much to do.
Really?
I got stuck on something, and so basically took the majority of my afternoon, and so I didn't even get to the other stuff I have to do.
I'm probably going to be too bad. Nobody's trained this doofus. We could have went and worked somewhere.
Yeah.
He rolled in poop, by the way. His own. So.
And I do a pretty good job, too, of, like, keeping this, like, picking up the poop so that exact thing doesn't happen. There's, like, literally, like, the one freaking time where I didn't have it picked up and he's running around up there and just, like...
Well, I mean, Cora's done that her whole life and she's never laid in a pile of poop before. At least that I know of. He literally laid in it. His whole leg was...
I think he fell in it. I think he was running and... Because I saw him bite it.
Oh.
So I'm guessing that's exactly... He, like, literally landed his hip on it. Because, yeah, it was, like, in a weird spot.
Yeah, like his...
Yeah. But yeah, so... Anywho, yeah, we're just about ready with that new set of rice. So I'm gonna get back to making that, and yeah.
They're really hot.
I know, so it'll be interesting to see if that actually works.
Ready?
It's like, I want it crusty, but I don't.
This is not right.
I told you I had to edit.
Sorry. Come in again.
Come on, yeah. You're gonna pee.
Yeah, come here.
Daddy. Come here. Come here, buddy. No, you got it.
Come here.
Come on. Come on. Come on. Come here, buddy. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Literally the biggest chicken in the world.
Boy, buddy.
His feet were dirty.
Jesus Christ, he's shaking like a leaf. We're gonna have to do this quickly.
I don't know what we're doing.
Oh, yeah, that's not gonna go very well, is it?
Oh, yeah.
Watch his ears.
Feel good. Feel real good, buddy. Oh, yeah.
Get him out, and then I'll...
Come on.
Come on.
We got it. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Dog. We'll get you. He's like, let me out.
He's just shaking so badly.
Yeah. This isn't gonna stay up.
That's fine.
Yeah, I can't. I'm gonna turn it off.